Hi there, and welcome to another exciting episode of Way of the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargaming Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka Hey You, Get Off My Lawn. Way of the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. Usually we talk a whole lot of painting and a whole lot of what's under the sun, but that's half the fun, I think, of the show. For some of you newer viewers, if you got any painting questions, anything like that, of course, you can always send it to Kris@miniwargaming.com. You can say it in the chat right now if you're attending to the show live. And yeah, feel free to ask whatever kind of question you like, especially painting. As we tend to be a somewhat painting-centric kind of show, you know, I have varied experiences in conversions and terrain and some under the sun. So I can see a lot of the regulars are joining us today. I can see Tolo. I can't even see that. Monkey. Hello, monkey. Mumpkies too. Spite you, woot. Kurt Kishon, morning monkeys. Daniel Pagey, hello monkeys. Nidfink, hello everyone. Hello Nidfink. Clayton Tate, hey everybody. Leo Shee, hello monkeys. McWhiskey, good morning, everyone. It's nice to be back after some time away. Well, welcome back. John Doe, good morning. William Payne, hello, everyone. McWhiskey, what's everyone working on? I don't know. What's everyone working on? I'm working on Way of the Brush right now. And I imagine some of you guys are getting some painting done, maybe some assembly, or maybe you're just cutting back and relaxing and enjoying this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Well, at least Saturday afternoon for us in North America. Or at least on the east coast of North America. Anyway. Steve Cox, good evening. Clayton Tate, working on a Warcopta. I kit bashed out of a truck and 5 tank busters to go in it. Cool. Pictures, man. Pictures. Back cars. John Doe, nice. Neil Turner, hello everyone. He's working on some anyway. War Machine. I had to scan down the page a bit. John Doe, I have several projects in the works right now and not sure where to start today. That's the hard part when you have like a whole bunch of boxes in front of you. I've mentioned this before, where you have, a whole bunch of Marines in front of you, or whatever models, right? It doesn't have to be Marines. I always end up saying Marines because everybody plays Marines. You have like 500 of them in front of you, and you got boxes unopened, and you got sprues, and you got all this stuff in front of you. You just kind of have to just like get it all off your desk, get it out of your sight, and just have 5, 10 Marines or models in front of you, and just go from there. Just concentrate on just those couple guys, just get them done. Then work on a vehicle next, and then get another squad done. Then get a character done, then go back to another squad, get another vehicle done. And you kind of work your way through that, and you'll eventually get through your army pretty quickly like that, right? Instead of looking at the whole thing going, oh my God, where am I going to start? I could base code all these guys. I could, and then you end up sitting there going, okay, well, I'll do this, and you end up kind of just burning out and, I'll do it later. At least that's the way I usually end up working. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, it's usually the way it ends up working for me. Leo Shee, dental molds in my job. Are you a dentist, Leo, or are you a dental assistant? I mean, either way, very cool. Dental, working at like in a dentist's office and having access to like a lot of the tools, like all those little pickers and scrapers and stuff like that they use at the dentist. Those are great sculpting tools, and anytime any of those are going to get retired, say, hey, Mr. Dentist, can I have these? Because these are really great for sculpting, and they got fine detail and they're good for hooking around. Even like the little mirror and stuff like that, and the little headlight, it's all good stuff. Dentists have really great tools, and they have access to a lot of fine, tools and yeah. So if you're into sculpting and your conversions stuff like that, that's a good place to hit. Even it goes for everybody. I mean, talk to your dentist. Say, you got any old tools you don't use anymore, and as long as they don't have like AIDS on them or anything like that. I mean, like you don't want that. Jeez. Daniel Pagey, trying to plan my armies on a parade project. Very cool. Despite you painting a bookshelf. Get on my level. My bookshelf, huh? Okay. All right. Kris, I'm actually building with Lego. Don't judge me. Yeah, Lego's fun though. Lego is fun. Lego is I thought I was reading some study where they talked about kids that played with Lego tend to score better, on aptitude tests and stuff like that. The kids, because it's problem solving, right? And you put your blocks together and you're making something, and it's also creative. It's also inspires the artist, and it's also problem solving because you want to build something structurally sound, and parts keep falling, gravity, whatever, right? And so, yeah. I used to play with Legos when I was a kid. All the time. To the point where my parents were walking in the carpet, and then I had no more Legos. It just happened one too many times, and I checked out of my Legos, and I said, oh. Then I got into G.I. Joes and stuff like that, and I was, woohoo, went back in G.I. Joes. Anyway. Clumsy Juggler. Hello, everybody. Make whiskey. Legos are always good. Yeah, Legos are always good. Everything starts with Lego. Daniel Pagey. McWhiskey, I kept mine when I was a kid, and now my kids are starting to play with the same ones I did. That's cool. That's very cool. That's actually kind of fun. Like, kids playing with the same kind of stuff. Like my son, I mean, I'm sure it had like no influence from me. What he got into when he was a young boy, right? Because I got him into Transformers and G.I. Joes and Voltron, and now he's a big fella, and he's excited for the new Voltron that's going to be coming on Netflix, and it's a good thing. I mean, it's good. It's kind of pass on these interests, and and also I'm sure it keeps your children somewhat connected to you, when you have the same interests. So, it's a good thing. Where am I? 30C42C19. Good morning, everyone. Can we pick a better name than that? Can we change the name on the account or something like that? Because that does not roll off the tongue. 30C42C19. No, it just doesn't roll off the tongue. Lich Lord G. Hey, Kris and Monkeys. Hey, Lich Lord. Ghost to Starman Deluxe. Making some scratch-built terrain today. Very cool. What are you making? Sci-fi? Steampunk? Fantasy? Horror? What? What are you making? Lucian Villansor. Good morning, Kris. Morning. Lazy Monkey. Howdy, folks. Idic Beer? I always say that. Am I ever saying that right? Idic? Is it Idic? I'm a dick? Or is it IDIC Vic? Anyway, I think I'm going to say Idic because I'm a dick. Hi, people. Nicholas Allen, hello party people, and Kris. Where am I? Bob, hello everybody, hello Kris, hello Bob. Him 2261, hello all. Well, hello him. Him, okay, he's a him. He's a him. Ironically, could be a she. Jay Ponage, hello, hello, hello. Kurt Kershone, I just bought a set of wax carvers, dental pick style tools. Yeah, exactly. And the dentist, he's got all that stuff. He's already sitting on all those tools. And if you're really, if you're real tight with your dentist, but I really don't know anybody who is tight with their dentist, but, you say, hey, doc, why don't you hook me up? Because, I'm hurting and I need some tools. I don't know. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Polystyrene sort you use for packaging rather than GWs. Oh, okay. Tolo headlight on a dentist. He an orc doc. the little lamp that goes on his head. I mean, he's got that big lamp, and he's also got the other lamp. He uses mirrors and stuff to concentrate it into like a laser beam, and he burns the cavity out. Isn't that how he does it? No. Bob, hi Chris. You bought your kid a dog yet? Have I bought my kid a dog yet? No, I have not. I'm not planning to. Not until this one. We already got a dog, and I mean, not until that dog kicks it am I getting another dog. Unless of course it's like a little English bulldog. Now, I have a thing for English bulldogs. In fact, the uglier they are, the better. Not the American bulldogs, not the French bulldogs. I don't like the French bulldogs; those things look scary. But English ones, they got the big upper bodies, they got the big pushed-in faces. But there's a lot of care for them, and they're expensive little buggers. And no, I don't know. I grew up, dogs like sleeping outside, guarding your house. That's dogs. That's dog-man relationship. You give him food, he watches your house. It's kind of like an employee, right? You pay him, and he watches your stuff. And that's a pretty good relationship. You pet him once in a while, you play with him, and you train him. You love him, right? And he watches your stuff. He guards your house, right, while you sleep. The whole dog in the house kind of thing. I mean, when I was young, like that was foreign to me. I mean, really, you let your dog in the house? That's crazy. Like, no, we dog outside. Dog stays outside. Dogs. Not... Oh, and the other one is when people talk about their dogs like their family. That's another funny one because like growing up, foreign concept because that's an animal. He's not family. I mean, again, watches your stuff, guards you while you sleep. That's why you got to get like the big scary dogs. Daniel Page, you get Chris. I'm painting some nids. I want them in the colors of the Space Hulk gene sealers. What would be the best prime? What would be best to prime them? White or black? I actually probably get away with black first, because I mean, if you want to kind of like get through them fairly quickly. I don't know if you want to bring them up to like a really high standard, but I'd start with black because the scenery bits on the gene sealers, right? You can do that all metal and rusty and stuff like that. The blue on them tends to be fairly dark, and the purple on them tends to have a fairly dark tone. So, yeah, I would go black. You can go with black. Parker Gray, hello everyone. Hello. Lich Lord, been away from the hobby for a couple years, back now into War Machine. Very cool. I like War Machine too. I play mercs and minions. McWhiskey, I always wanted an English Bulldog. Yeah, Bob, English Bulldogs snore like hell. Yeah, I snore like hell too though. Yeah, because it's got the pushed in faces, right? And so like, imagine listen to me breathe. Daniel Pagey. It's all about having spaniels. Spaniels? Like Cocker Spaniels? Or did you just want me to say Cocker? Clayton Tate, English Bulldogs attack squigs, but they're so wrinkly these days. I know, and that's the thing is like they're so ugly that they're cute, right? I mean, they're so adorable, and the puppies of them, they're just like these little wrinkled up, like just like it's basically like at the end of the day, and you had like you're wearing like say thick wool socks, and at the end of the day you take them off and you unroll them, and they're kind of like in a little ball. That's what like bulldog puppies look like. They look like rolled up balls of socks. So. But I mean, they're cute, right? So, and they look tough. The English Bulldogs look tough because they got the big upper bodies, right? And they like skip leg day, and it's all just. Lazy Monkey, and the dog gets a nice doghouse. Yes, exactly. Dogs outside. I don't know. Clay Tate, knowing Chris's luck, the English Bulldog will try to open the door for robbers and help them carry out the TV. No, that's my current dog. My current dog would probably do that. I have to kick her in the butt every once in a while. Get mean. Get mean. Bob, connection drop? Oh, I'm back. Never mind. No, I'm not seeing any dropped frames or anything like that. Bitrate's constant. Everything's good. Everything's good. Doomfire Knight just jumped in. What's been happening? We're just catching up. We're just talking bulldogs and some painting. Gene sealers. We're talking painting gene sealers. Our bulldog gene sealers. Never mind. Lich Lord, Kris here. Yeah. I'd imagine with a name like Lich Lord, and I can see your little icon on your thing, and it's a little Kris thing. I'd imagine you played Cricks. I mean, I'll go out on a limb, play Cricks. Daniel Page, I have a little Cocker Spaniel. He's got a little Cocker Spaniel. He's got a little Cocker Spaniel. Now, see, little dogs, I don't like. Like the little dogs, no. Poodles, stuff like that. They're just too damn yappy. Too damn yappy. No, like my dog right now, she's a collie shepherd mixture. She's a mutt, but I mean, you know, she's really good and she's smart and everything like that. And she's a good dog. Listens well. Just, you know, not the bravest of sorts. I mean, squirrels chases them all day long. Robber, somebody knocking on the door, she howls, so that alerts us. But I mean, if they walked in, I mean, I'm sure she probably just, you know, how you doing? Please don't kill me, you know, like, where she, you know, she, rah, I want like, you know, I want like one of those big Anubis dogs, and somebody comes in the house, and I got like 2 of them sitting there, and I just get them, rah, you know, these big dogs come flying at you, something like that, right? Bob, I have a Rhodesian Ridgeback. I don't even know what the hell that one is. Rhodesian. Aaron O. Hey all, working on some black dark gray wolf scheme. Trying to figure out how to make it pop. A dark gray wolf scheme. How to make it pop? By the secondary colors you use. If you're doing like, say, okay, imagine like Space Wolves, right? Or even pre-heresy Space Wolves. I did the pre-heresy Space Wolves, and I started off with like Eshin Gray, I think, or Mechanicus Gray. I can't remember which one of the two. Really dark gray. And it's the secondary colors you use. So the icons, shoulder trim, you know, things that could be yellow, red, or even gold, you know. The gun casing. It didn't say what kind of models he's working on. It just says he's working on a dark gray wolf scheme. Or are we to assume that we're talking about dark gray, like Space Wolf scheme? If it's dark gray Space Wolf scheme, then just do them dark gray. And then, you know, with their pack markings, you know, you do the nice bright red, bright yellows. And, yeah. Should be good to go. Dorn Jr., formerly 30C, 42C, 19. See you later. Had to Google how to change the username. I'm still new to the YouTube chat. Oh. So Dorn Jr. is formerly 30C, 42C, 19. Spite you, email time. Yeah, I think it's about email time. What time are we at? 20 minutes after? Yeah. Leo Shi, Kris, have you gotten a copper silver tower? We do. We've gotten a few of them. I don't know what we're doing with them though, but yeah, I've seen them. The minis are great, and at first I was thinking like the minis were gonna be like, you know, like for example like the Stormcasters. What the hell the guy's called? The Age of Sigmar dudes. Anyway, I thought it was gonna be a generic one of them in the box, you know, that you just maneuver around, right? But no, it's a specially sculpted dude for that box set. I thought the dwarf was like from, you know, the box sets. No, he's a specially sculpted dude. So. Yeah, I like it, and I mean it's heroes versus Zinch. There's a dark elf guy in there. Can't remember what else. But anyway, yeah, the models are all fantastic, and the Zinch models, awesome. The warriors for them, awesome looking. It'd be fun even just to pick it up just for its models, because those models are cool. Apparently, one of them is a Reebok, though. I think it's a Zinchian Lord dude, I think, or something. Anyway. But yeah. Where am I? Lazy Monkey Kris, depends on the poodle. Real poodles are full-size hunting dogs. Miniature poodles are fuzzy footballs. Well, there was a time when my mother-in-law, she had acquired a beagle. And, you know, like a beagle, awesome dog. You know, I mean, those are great hunting dogs. And, you know, it was like, well, why don't you hand it over? Because I mean, we had another dog at the time. She was a half wolf at the time. Well, not that she stopped being half wolf, but At the time, she was a half wolf, and we weren't sure how to go. And then they played together, and they were fun. But then ended up staying with the grandmother, and the grandmother and the auntie loved the dog, and so okay, stay there. Then the dog got all fat and and had health problems, and yeah, this is a damn shame. With me, the dog would have been a good hunting dog, of sorts. But oh well. I digress. Clayton Tate. Every people I've met is a big baby and just wants attention and cuddles. Yeah, exactly. It's all in how they're brought up. No such thing as bad dogs or even bad kids. It's all in the parents. It's all in the parentage. Yeah, let's do an email because I'm lost into what the hell we're talking about here. Slobber and cuddles. I don't know. You're concerning me. This is from Mad Maxim 81. Hey Kris, thanks for all the countless hours of entertainment you provide on Way the Brush. I'm starting a successor chapter of the Iron Hands, the Forge Warden chapter. Forge Warden chapter? But I want to base them around a Forge World Ryza scheme, Orange Red, because they have close ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus on Ryza. I've tried to come up with some concepts for color scheme, and I was wondering if you had any ideas. I have attached a few of some of the concepts I want to go for a split color scheme. I'll probably drop the iron colored gauntlets. Keep up the great work. Best regards, Mad Maxim 81. Now he's on these generic kind of Space Marine kind of things here. Now I do kind of like the silver. I like this dominantly orange. Another one I was just thinking of when you're talking about like the quartered. Why not do like the Howling Griffins, where like you have like the orange on one side, red on the other, and then he's orange on this side and he's red on this side. You know what I mean? So it's like he was quartered, and yeah, I think you know what I mean. I like the orange scheme better, with the red complements rather than the red up on top and the orange on the bottom. It doesn't feel heavy, whereas the orange body, the deeper red legs and the red backpack looks a little better. I like the red legs and orange top, upper body, rather than the red top. If you want to keep the gray in the hands, I think that's fine. I don't think there's any problem with that. The gray looks cool. Shoulder trim. I don't know if I'd leave the shoulder trim yellow. I'd probably leave it something like maybe red. Do the shoulder trim in red. Do the shoulder trim in black. Gold, if you really want to stay with yellows. But yeah, I would go with this orange upper body, red legs, and yeah, that's what I think anyway. No particular reason other than because when you have like the darker colors up higher, it changes the way the gravity feels, like the weight of the bottle. And when models have like the deeper colors at the bottom, you can feel the gravity of the model. You can feel the weight, and it's the same thing with that. Like can you imagine like black upper body with yellow legs? That look kind of weird, And so and that's probably why we don't see that color scheme out there, because it just looks kind of weird. You're like, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Where are we? Bob. Darn, have to go. Have fun without me. I have to watch this later. Wife has something in store for me. Wink, wink. Yeah, she's got her honey-do list out. Bob's making it seem like he's it's like a Cialis commercial, but no, he's got to go take out the garbage and mow the lawn. Clayton Tate, I find that most dogs are actually smart, but treated like accessories and ignored, so they go crazy and turn into little yap monsters. Cool little dogs are cool. Cool little dogs are cool. I guess. I don't know. Most of the time, little dogs I've seen, they're yappy little buggers. They're just yappy. I don't like them. No, I mean, again, I don't see animals, pets, as accessories. I mean, if you're gonna have this life form, share part of your life, then you have to have some sort of arrangement. You have to have some sort of mutual symbiosis between the two, you know. And I think that's a fair arrangement with dogs, that they guard you while you sleep and you give them food. It's about as straight up a deal as you can get. Despite you, I have a Chihuahua, and literally pick it off the street. She's quiet and cool, and a freaking psychopath. She's quiet and cool, and a freaking psychopath. Who's a cool psychopath? Leo Shi, there are no Reeboxes in the silver set. They're all new minis. It's a great build. I thought somebody was telling me one of the models, the big guy, I think. He's got like the big sausage fingers or something. He was a resculpt or a redo, like a reboxing. Maybe they're wrong. Anyway. John Doe. Yeah, I looked at the Silver Tower minis. They look cool. I think I'm waiting on the GW more units for Age of Sigmar 40k with that level details. Yeah, the Silver Tower models, they're all very cool. The Zinchian warriors and stuff like that, they're very, very cool looking models. They're not overly complex with details or anything like that. They're just, they just look cool. And they look very Zinch. I'm trying to remember what the heck else was in that box. I like the little dwarf. I just like the little dwarfs. I don't know, all the stuff was really, really cool. Lots of Zinch. It was just lots of Zinch, really, I guess. Lazy Monkey has... Anyone played by Jim Belushi is a cool psychopath. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anybody played by Jim Belushi. I just recently watched Red Heat. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jim Belushi. And that's a good one. That's a classic Arnie film. And anybody who's not that familiar with Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, shame on you. What planet do you live on? Let's do another email, since we can. This is from Ruben. Yeah, we'll say Ruben. We'll just make up a name, Ruben. Hey Kris, so in celebration of my first live viewing and acceptance by all the monkeys, here is my work in progress Inquisitor. Thoughts appreciated. Love your work. Clickadoo, Ruben. Clickadoo. 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 Anyway, it looks very good. Nice and clean. I don't see paint all over into other areas, I mean, on the base, but the base is not done right. I think it looks pretty darn good. It's nice and clean. Shade wash. Looks like just a bit of highlighting. Maybe. But either way, do be mindful when dealing with cloths and things of that nature with these deep grooves, and you're using shade wash to get your nice deep tones. Be very careful not to lay too much down, because again, you can get that frosting in there. You can get all sorts of funniness, and again, it just looks like a big stain when you overly rely on the shade washes. And I mean, shade washes are good because you get that real nice texture. Say, for example, with this fur, I would have probably done it like Mechanicus Gray, and then Null Oil, and then a light dry brushing Mechanicus Gray, and then just a little bit of top here, Adeptus Gray, and maybe just a little bit of white, just at the corners, just a bit. The red cloth, base coat. If I wanted a nice deep red, it would be Mephiston red, and then maybe some either cardboard crimson or Agraxer shade. Not really Null Oil. You could go Juchi Violet, but anyway, cardboard crimson most likely what I'd go. But I wouldn't lay it on too heavily. It would really just be there to tint and really concentrate on creating a deeper tone within the folds and keeping a darker color up near the top of the collar, not so much at the bottom. And then if I was dry brushing, then I'd bring up Mephiston red just a little bit, and I'd dry brush across, and then I'd grab some Evil Sun Skylet, and basically run it across this way, very light hand, and just bring it up about halfway, just about halfway up the cloak. And if I didn't feel that we went far enough, then I'd go with a light little layer, and I'd just bring the layer up a little bit more, just kind of bring it up. and then maybe just end it with like 1 or 2 strokes of Wild Rider Red or something, just along those bottom ends there, just to brighten it up. And then maybe like just do a little edge of Wild Rider Red, just a little bit. But I mean, like your details, your observance of the details is good. Like I can see that helmet, the eye right on the helmet and everything. It's very, very cool. No, it's a good paint job. I like you did the very good. Sorry, John, in there. Yeah, no, it looks good. I like it. The bolt gun can probably use some color. Like the little casing could probably, use a red, or that part of the casing could use some red, or like, that part of the casing and that part of the casing could use a little bit of red. Doesn't have to be the same red you used on the cloth. Could be, say, a slightly brighter red, But otherwise, good job. I like it. Looks good. And I'm sure all the monkeys approve as well. And if they don't, well, too bad. That was from Ruben. Where are we at in these comments here? My God, man. Clay Tate, I find most little we're still on the little dogs here. See what I mean? Like monkeys, they get a hold of something and it's to get passionate about it, won't shut up about it. Clay Tate, I find most little dogs are actually smart, but treating like I already read that part. I guess maybe somebody hasn't said anything. I thought we blew through a whole bunch of comments here. I guess not. Leo She, Warrior of the Brush, episode 121, Crazy Doggies? I think so. John Doe at Leo, yeah, I looked at the Silver Tower minis, and they do look cool. I think waiting for GW to make more units for Age of Sigmar, 40k, that level 3. I already read that one, didn't I? Yeah, Jim Belushi's second path. I guess everybody's just been quiet the entire time. Too busy painting. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was like, I thought it was a whole new set of comments there. Everybody's, what the... Leo She, Kris, do you mind showing us your workstation? I'm planning on turning my mini bar. Why would you turn a mini bar into a I can already see where you're going with this. Why would you desecrate a mini bar with hobby stuff? With a mini bar, you stock it like a bar. Do you realize with a mini bar, and if you had it stocked, do you realize how many cool points that gets you? I would just throwing that out there. A mini bar in my basement into a workstation in which I will prepare my Warhammer armies. Now, a mini bar as a workstation is actually a pretty cool idea because it's really high up, right? And so you can get like either a stool or you can even stand at it and work, which I think is a pretty darn cool idea. My workstation is like just right behind me, and it's a mess. And it's just really my workstation is just designed for filming. And I've realized lately that I have no hobby. I have no hobby. My job is painting miniatures all day long. And yeah. And I mean, that's just a workstation for me. As far as everything else is concerned, I mean, it's just a workstation. I just paint the model, grab color, paint model, grab color. And that's it, It's all I do. Him 2261 looks better than my recent painting nothing. Like trying to get an entire army painted in a few months. Oh yeah, the miniature. Yeah, no, it's really good. It was really good, nice and clean. But that's all you gotta do. When you have like a huge project, and you want to try and get a model like an army done. Just concentrate on just the base colors. Maybe some shade washes, That's about it. Leo She, please let them release the Carrick Acolytes and the rest of the Zinchian Arcanites as an army book. Yeah, I'm sure they probably will. I'm sure they will. Leo She, it's an old mini bar, previous owner of the house, and has been neglected for at least 2 decades. Shame. For shame. I'm sure the spirits in that mini bar are just sad. It's like the scene of The Shining. You're sitting at the mini bar and bartender's talking to you. It's a ghost. And anyway. Lazy monkey. Maybe he's got a full bar now, so the mini bar becomes a mini station. Didn't think about that one. Despite you, bring the bar to the workstation. There you go. And that's another one. Bring the bar to the workstation. Have the bar and your workstation as one. Innovate. Create a bar that was your hobby workstation. Mind blown. That's it. Create it. Be the first guy. Be the first guy to live the dream. Where like I don't know. I'm just saying, but because I saw airbrush come up with an airbrush, that was also like your drink dispenser, right? Like your soda dispenser. Just, you paint your model and then fill up your drink. Ideas, man. Ideas abound. The Barfy Sheep. Hello. Greenleaf Terrain. Kris. Am I on that level? As well as I don't feel I have a hobby either. A hobby? A hobby? Yeah, exactly. You might be. Because it's your job, right? Because, see, everybody else out there, like, and Greenleaf Adam can attest to this. We said when we were younger men, and we said, oh man, can you imagine being able to paint and play games and do stuff all day as your job and make a living at it? Wouldn't that just be fantastic? And then we're doing it, and then all of a sudden you realize that your hobby has become your job, which is great because it's something you're passionate about. But then you realize, wait a second, now I don't have a hobby. What do I do for a hobby now? And so I think Adam can attest to that because Adam, making terrain, living the dream, getting his bills paid, and gets to make terrain all day. I mean, my God, Adam's his own boss. So he's got nobody bossing him around, well, other than the customers, but yeah. So Adam's really living the dream is what it is. That's what I'm saying. There we go. The Barfing Sheep. Airbrushing is sup. Then I suddenly realized it was Saturday. Way the brush. Nicholas Allen. What's everyone's favorite Space Marine Legion? Mine is obviously the Word Bearers because I find their Fall from Grace so interesting, and unlike most people, I like their Primarch. Yeah, the Primarch is really kind of lackluster for them. I mean, he's cool and all, and he's really powerful, rules-wise, like in the games, like game stat-wise. But, yeah, the model is kind of meh. Him 2261 painting white scars for Valhalla in October. Oh, you're going to Valhalla? Very cool. Very, very cool. Spite you, Blood Angels. Spite you, Blood Freaking Angels. Blood Freaking Angels? Really? We have to have the freaking in there? Danny Pagey, Death Guard. Barfing Sheep, Blood Angels. Spite you. Yay, Brofist. Barfing Sheep, Raven Guard. John Doe, Crimson Fists. I'll have to go with John Doe on that one. Crimson Fists is my favorite chapter. Just because the fluffiness of them is just, so grim. And, I can relate. Lazy Monkey, Drunken Conversions, a hobby knife, alcohol, super glue, nothing could go wrong. Exactly. And you know what? When I was a younger fella and we did play by those rules, usually nothing bad happened. Sometimes you end up getting cut. But you just use the super glue and put it back together and you're fine. Greenleaf Terrain, Tau. Lich Lord, Kris, excuse me. Can you give me some advice for black metallic? I want my Bane axes to have that orc black metal look to them. Well, you can start off by, and I don't know if you're using the P3 colors or if you're using Citadel colors. If you're using P3 colors, I'm not entirely sure what the names of each of the colors are, but I'll give it to you in the general sense. Take the darkest metallic tone that they have, which is probably, something like, old metal or something like that. Something with it's a darker metal tone. Then you're going to take the black color, whatever that color might be in the paint line. Yeah, I can't even think of it now. And you're going to take, like, say, 2-3 drops of the metal and 1 drop of the black, add it to that, and you're going to take that metal way down It's going to go way down. It's going to go even darker, but it's still going to have a bit of metallic shine to it. And then you can add that to the axes. You can paint all the axes that dark metallic color, and then you can come back in with that dark metallic, and then just lightly highlight some points of the blades, and then maybe with the next level up silver, you just get just the corners. So you leave mostly that black metallic intact with just a few little edge highlights of lighter metals, and that should give you a dark metallic look without getting too bright. Clayton Tate, just don't clean your brush with Bushmills, or you'll have to have Bushmills and Wah mixed drink, Wah flesh drink. Yeah, no, don't do it to your Bushmills. That's sacrilege. Nicholas Allen, when Kris was a young warthog, when I was a young warthog. Warthog, that's probably an apt description of it. Warthog. On that note, I'm taking a sip of coffee because my throat's getting dry. And I'm yawning. Neil Turner, Ultramarines, my first and best. Ultramarines, really? You're a fan of the vanilla? I like vanilla cake. Screw chocolate or, the fluffy kind. Vanilla is where it's at. I'm just teasing. I mean, you like whatever one you like. Kurt Gershon, 30k, Death Guard, Imperial Fist, in 40k, Blood Angels. Despite you, call it Wah-Mill. Leo Shi, the Thousand Sons here. I find their tragic backstory revealing and how they were the only legion who never willingly became traitors. Yeah, that's kind of cool, too. Yeah. And tragic, yes. But the Thousand Sons old school, like the 30k color scheme, I like that color scheme a hair better than the current color scheme. Unless, of course, you went with metallic blue with bright golds. Yeah, bright golds. So metallic blue and bright golds for contemporary Thousand Sons, like 40k Thousand Sons. But old school Thousand Sons, 30k, metallic red. I love that. When I did them for the quick tips, I wanted to do a Thousand Sun chapter. I was like, this looks great. I want to do a Thousand Sun chapter because it looks awesome. So, yeah. Lich Lord, Citadel. Okay, so you're using Citadel? Okay, so do something like Lead Belcher, drop an Abaddon Black, do the base coat, then do the edge highlight of Lead Belcher, and then just do an edge highlight of Iron Breaker, or a little spot highlight of Iron Breaker. And then if you really need to, then just do a little bit of Rune Fang Steel, just at the very corners and tips of details and things like that. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. Just throwing this out there, but the Nest SM chapter is the Rainbow Warriors. Yeah, the Rainbow Warriors. Are you saying you're the best? They're the best chapter? The best chapter is the Rainbow Warriors. Because, who could not take them seriously? Big rainbow on their helmets. And like my Little Pony is like their chapter banner, and like the rainbow, this little pony, unicorn kind of thing. Somebody's got to do that. Do that. I'm not gonna do it. Not yet, anyway. The Barbecue Sheep, dear Lord, that sounds amazing. Barbecue Sheep, what would the chapter tactics be? Yeah, what would the chapter tactics be for Rainbow Warriors? Make Whiskey, obviously, Space Wolves are best. You just can't beat Viking Werewolf Hybrids. No, that's kind of hard. But obviously mutation is heavy in the chapter, and so I think they could be deemed heretic. Just saying. And maybe when they do like advance the storyline, maybe they will. Maybe that would be the next tragedy, is that the Space Wolves, like a stray dog being run out of town, the Space Wolves are run out of the Imperium. So get going, you bad doggies. You're bad little mutants. Go. And yeah. Didn't think of that one, did you? Clayton, when Kris was a young warthog, how long are you supposed to hold it when you see 4 A's? Is that like a 2 count, 3 count, or 4 count? I don't know. A wahog? Warthog? Is it wahog? I don't know. Daniel Pagey, chapter tactics, just being fabulous. Spike you, rear flank. I mean, yeah, you can make those kind of jokes all day long, but really, really, would that be their specialties? I don't know. Quillian Jacobs. Hey Kris, would you do a painting tutorial on Harlequin diamonds? I've been trying them for months, but can't seem to get them right. Yes, I do. I seen a comment in my quick tips list on doing the diamonds on a Harlequin, like the Harlequin models, not the vehicles, but the models themselves. And I do. I have a few Harlequins I have prepared, and so yeah, you will see Harlequin diamond. When I did the solitaire, didn't I not show how to do the diamonds either? I think I showed how to do diamonds there too. If you go back. If you're a Vault member, go back like a year, I think, almost, to the Harlequin Solitaire, and I did the diamonds there as well. So, but if we get it done for a quick tip, just quickly showing it, we'll do that too. Maybe I'll do that next week, because I'm working on the Infinity model right now at the moment, and he'll be all done by next week, and so maybe the week following, actually. Yeah, something like that. Leo Shi, the wolves decimated the suns without proper authorization. I would love it if the Wars of Fenris Part 2 reveals that the bombardment of Fenris wasn't all orchestrated by Magnus himself. Interesting. And then Quillian Jacobs, you have seen GW's Advent Calendar videos. They did one especially for Harlequin Diamonds. Well, there you go. There's another video. I don't know how they do it. I'd imagine they probably do it the same way I do it. Simply just draw the lines, then off angle, draw the lines. The hard part is usually finding the starting point, point of reference, and then begin your lines, and then just kind of start your grid out from there. But yeah, I'm not saying it's not hard. It just takes a little bit of practice. But yeah, I'll probably end up doing a quick tip on it anyway, regardless of what. Let's do an email. This is from Totem Lord. Hey Kris, so I haven't sent an email in a while, and so I decided to send you a pic of my work in progress diorama base. Nearly finished the walls in the pictures. Nearly finished the walls in the pictures, and should have done it in a couple of days. I also decided to throw in some of my Greek miniatures, 2 finished, 1 work in progress, and the picture next to the base, which is 6 inches tall for size comparison. Feedback, please. Thanks, Totem Lord. P.S. Yes, I did remember to attach photos this time. I know, and thank you, Totem Lord, for attaching photos this time. So here is, looks like one of those Imperial, thingamabobs. The Imperial building things. And so he's using this, I assume, for the basis of his diorama. Very cool. I think that's a plastic floor, yeah. And he's got it standing on a cork. Do you have something under the cork? Because if it's just the cork, then it's going to be kind of flimsy. And it's not going to be exactly very, very strong, Oh, there's a Greek dude and Superman. Greek Superman. Very nice. How big are those guys? They don't look very big. They actually look very small. It's like 15? Are these guys 15 mil? They're 15 mil. But very, very cool. It does look like he has something under the base, doesn't it? Yeah, he's got something under the base. It looks like maybe the GW base. Yeah. I like the dry brushing for the most part. Looks like he went with the gray, or maybe you just went with black and then just began dry brushing it all up. Or you started out with the gray, shaded it, and then started dry brushing the gray on tops. It's not bad. I think you definitely need to pick out some other details. The skulls, I would come in with something, you know, a little bit lighter. I don't know if I'd go white, but something to bring a bit more of a skull quality to them. The I-beams, like especially if this is for a diorama, I'd get a little bit more colors happening in here. For the concrete and stuff like that, throwing in like little bits of, say, greens and light browns and, you know, things like that, right? Just to get a bit more like mossy and earth tones happening in the base. Like it looks like you got that going on in here in the interior. Where it looks like a little bit of greens going on, which is good. Do that on the outside as well. Yeah. I mean, streaks, oil streaks, you know, rust from the I-beams, you know what I mean, running down. Things like that. You know, don't forget to do. But otherwise, good stuff. Totem Lord. Can't wait to see more. Was that it? Yeah. And thanks for the Greek pictures. Very cool. I thought you said you had a model that was... Oh, okay, so that base thing is 6 inches tall. Okay, I got you. And so it's just to give a scale of how small it's going. So I think they're smaller than 15 mil. Is that what it is? Or, yeah, 15 mil. Anyway. Silly monkey. Where are we in these comments? My God, man. Leo Shi and Kris, how does one make requests for quick tip videos? I'd love to see one on the Tizkin armor. Tizkan? Tizkan. The Thousand Suns pre-heresy. Okay. Leo Shi. How do you make requests for quick tip videos? Write in the comments of the quick tip video. Now I'm talking comments on the website. So go to miniwargaming.com. If you're a Vault member and the video is in the Vault, then make the comment there. If the video is posted for free, then click it in there. But it's just like where you click on the video description and on the website, and you can see it. Leave a comment or whatever, right? And so you can see them. That's the best place to leave them. That's because I check those daily. The YouTube ones, not all the time. Mainly because it's more like. Because answering your questions on quick tips, is a lot of fun. But it's more like a thank you for coming to our site, being a member, being a Vault member, and getting your question answered is really what it is. It's about. And so like YouTube, YouTube is like a free platform and it's open to, everybody, and you get some really odd questions too. And yeah. It's for our members. That's why, I check the quick tip questions for videos like every day, and I see what people are asking for, and what have you. Where am I? Nelso J. Nelso. Oh, jeez. Kris, teach me how to paint a white line. Josh, I'll show you how to paint a white line, all right. Perfect sheep, thin out a good flow and layer the shit out of that white paint. Spike you, is Totem here today? No, I haven't seen him make any comments, so I couldn't tell you. Lazy monkey. Yeah, I don't know if that's the kind of white line he's talking about, Lazy. It might be, I don't know. Maybe I'm misinterpreting Josh's question. Spike Hugh, that dry brush almost looks like an overbrush. If it were me, I'd focus next on the solid highlighting. Yeah, well, it's to each his skills too, right? So the thing is like with the dry brushing, like on those buildings, like I would have done them gray, shade, come back in with that base color, just to reestablish it along the thing, then highlight color, and I would have pretty much gone from just the edges of stuff, work my way around. And then, of course, with a really bright highlight, it would have just been probably just the outer edges of stuff. And, yeah, and that all done by dry brushing, just so that you get these color gradients building up, right? The thing is, though, is when you're dry brushing and you're using it to highlight, you only want to ever go maybe 2 or 3. 3 kind of pushes it sometimes. It all depends on how smooth the paint job is. But because that's how you get that chalkiness. That's how you get that chalky look on the model. And you don't want that, right? Well, unless you do want it, then, by all means continue doing it. But most of the time, most people don't want it. And, the best way to just avoid that is you dry brush 1 or 2 layers and, go about it that way. And as long as you keep a very, very, very light hand, yeah, you can get that 1 layer to create a progression of color, even just within that 1 color. So, yeah. Yeah, add some metallics to the chains and vents. Yeah, exactly. Bring those skulls up a little bit, yeah. Barfing Sheep, everything is better with more metal. Lord of Midgets, get Kris. I'm looking to improve my painting skills. I've been watching a lot of your tutorials, and you've been helping me struggling with my finger painting. Which finger is the best for spare marine's eyes? Well, if we're being serious, the pinky. Of course, the pinky. All you do is you pinch your skin till you form like a little wedge shape, and you dunk your paint in, put it in the eye, and you're done. Or you get, like, if you have really calloused up hands, and you can kind of shape, the dead skin into the shape you need, perfect, Another one would be easy, for example, you want to make a stencil or something, or you want to make an impression or something. So you have, the shape of it, and you impress it against your skin, and you have the negative there, and then you put it on the model, and that's another one. I know, Lord, Midgets, you're being a funny guy, but your pinky. You can do it with your pinky. If you shape your fingernail just right, you can do it just with your fingernail. A la carte 86.9. I hate being late. So do I. I hate it when you're late too. Spite you, word, but does Pantera count as metal? I would liken it to more hardcore punk. Pantera is hardcore punk. No. 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 Hardcore punk? No. I mean, mind you, I've never really listened to any kind of hardcore punk, but no. You get solos and stuff like that in there? No. No, there's too much rhythm. There's too much rhythm in it. I think the genre that Pantera fit in was thrash, wasn't it? But a lot of bands went into that category and didn't really fit either. But anyway, holy crap! All sorts of comments. Lord of Midgets, I am Lord of them. I am not one of them because I am bigger. I can rule them with an iron fist. Okay. Dark Mako 91. Yes, you're late. Hello. Did you miss anything? No, you didn't really miss anything. We're talking all sorts of craziness today. Where am I? Lee Cooper, should you ever use nail polish remover on brushes between uses? No. Well, it depends on kind of brushes. Plastic brushes? No. Sable haired brushes? No. Nail polish remover? No, that's a good way to really damage the fibers of, like, if you bought, like, say for example, the regular Games Workshop brushes and you were using nail polish remover to clean them. Oh my lord, no, because you're just gonna kill the fiber. Like, you're just gonna kill the hairs, the quality of the hairs. If you didn't already melt them the first time you dunked it in there, no, don't do it. It just kills the hairs. There's plenty of brush soaps out there that are gentle and mild and do the job of getting rid of the paint. Out there. I use Masters brush soap, and it works like a charm. I've been using it for years. It works great on sable. It works great on synthetics, hog hair, all kinds of brushes. It works great on. So, and even for different kinds of paint, it works great for oil paints, acrylic paints. So, yeah. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, Black Flag. Okay, yeah, Black Flag was hardcore punk. Yes, okay. Yeah. Yeah, Pantera was thrash metal. Yeah. Sex Pistols? No, we're not hardcore. It was just punk. Yeah. Yeah, Black Flag. Okay, it's hardcore punk. Yeah. I agree. Black Flag. Rollins was the greatest. Lord of Bitches. Rockabilly is a fun punk genre. It has positive, upbeat messages in country music, but the sound of punk in good times. Okay. Clayton Tate, I have spent the entire time watching the show trying to reorganize my orcs, and all I have done is make a bigger mess. Well, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Lee Cooper, whoopsie. Okay. Mad Max 81. Hey Chris, have you read my email about the color scheme for my Forge Warden chapters yet? Yes, I did, Max. It was the first email I read, so I was in the beginning portion of this book. No, I didn't read the first email until about 20 after. So about 40 minutes ago, I read that. And in a nutshell, I like the orange upper body, red legs. Go with that one. In a nutshell. Otherwise, you can go back to that part of the video and just kind of catch my thoughts on it. Or, yeah. Leo Shi. Are Citadel layer brushes different from Citadel artificial brushes? Not really. Really, it's just a furrow and how many bristle hairs there are, really, essentially what it is. The layer brushes are really okay. Like Citadel, they call them layer brushes. They call them dry brushes. They call them glazing brushes. They call them artificial brushes. But in a nutshell, all it is their numbering system. Okay, if you go to any art supply store and look for brushes, okay, you're gonna see brushes, of the same brand, of the same quality, of the same, bristle make, and it's gonna go from 5 to 1, and then you're gonna get zeros, and you're gonna get 00, 000, and stuff like that. And then you're gonna, and of course, then you gotta pay attention to the bristle length, right? If you're gonna go to an art supply store, look at the watercolor brushes, okay? Look at the watercolor brushes, and the ones with not too long of a bristle length, but fairly long. Like if it's a zero, or if it's a zero is about a zero in regular watercolor brushes is like a medium layer brush. Or maybe a 1. No, 1 is more like the larger layer brush. Because the 2 is definitely like the wash brush. So yeah, and all the artificial brushes are all the 0, 00, 000. It's more likely that it's a 0 or 00 and a 000. So yeah, so hopefully that helps. Whoever asked that. Oh, Leo Shi, yeah, about the sit-up brushes. Yeah, if that's all it is. All it is just their numbering system, and all it is, like if you took the brushes and laid them all side by side, most of them anyway, the round ones or the pointed ones anyway, because they have a few flat ones which are different tasks and dry brushing whatever. But the ones that are just simply round, pointed, and laid them all together, you'd see that they're just simply a progression in size. That's all. Daniel Pagey, the price is different. Lich Lord. I miss the old color-coded Citadel brushes. I still have my detail and fine ones, and they rock. Yeah, I still have mine too. I use them every once in a while. Yeah. I still have my older blue ones. I still have my older red ones. Here, let me see. Oh, can I reach it without destroying all my stuff? Yeah, see, I got like some old brushes here. Okay, last color coded ones. Yeah, see, he's got the blue on the ends, and this is a old large dry brush. But I think when this brush first came out, they were calling it the tank brush because it was big, right? See, I got some Vallejo synthetics. Synthetics I use the synthetics I use for the solvent-based base paints, like enamels, like the Tamiya's, stuff like that, where you have to cut it with alcohol. I often use my synthetic brushes. So I know I often poo-poo on synthetic brushes and that I don't really care for them. For quality work, detail work, I prefer sable. For, you know, dangerous jobs that I don't want to subject my sable brushes to, then I use synthetics. And so, like, you know, Tamiya Clear for, like, you know, canopies and gemstones, stuff like that, I use this brush. Not this brush, but a synthetic brush. Because it's synthetic, and I don't care if, you know, the alcohol gets to the bristles because it's plastic. But yeah, I mean, I got, like, you know, old red Citadel brushes. Got some old blue Citadel brushes that are just splayed. You can see they're just splayed all over the place. You can see there's a bit of a green at the tips. That's because I was last using them for pigments. One of my favorite brushes to use is this one. This wash brush. You can see his hairs are all over the place right now, but I like using this one for washing and for like just kind of larger stuff. Just because you get like lots of draw in it, like the bristle length. Yeah, this one. A large Citadel dry brush. I still have my cap on it. Let's see. Look at that. I don't even think I've ever used this brush. Get this in the light. See how light the bristles are? I don't even think I've used this brush. Huh. A large brush. Might have to start using this more. Bristles are still good. Some of these older brushes, they have they still like really good bristles to them. And I think it's these blue ones. These blue ones, like, they lasted me a long time. Here's my Winsor Newton Series 7. This is my 0. He's right in here. I always keep the cap on him. And I always keep that point to a nice sharp point. Probably can't see it that well. But anyway. And this is Winsor Newton Series 7 Miniature. If you're going to get the really fine detail. These ones are really good for like line work and like eyeballs, stuff like that. They're really good for that. I definitely would recommend them. But yeah, that's about it on my brushes. I don't know, I got some more. Oh, I got my other Winsor Newtons here, yeah. My 000. I got my 0. I got my 0, 000, and 00. I have all three for my Winsor Newtons. And I've only ever used my 0 for eyes and things like that. I've never used the 00. I've never used my 000. No, I've used the 000 once. I was using it for something. I think it was for eyes as well. I think it was like something really, really small, and I just wanted this a tiny little bit of color in there. And yeah. So anyway. That's enough about my brushes. Oh, and of course I always keep them in my Dino cup. I've had this Dino cup for like ever. Why it's in Dino, I don't know. And you know, I'll leave you to figure that one out. Lee Cooper at Kris. Have you ever thought or seen or done a paint job on a mini that was functionally pearlescent? It'd be different, I think, but certainly kind of neat. Yes, pearlescent. I've used pearlescent before. I like this stuff right here. Yeah, this stuff right here. Liquitex Iridescent Medium. This is real fun. There's a bunch of videos in the vault. I did like a beetle back, like getting that pearlescence happening like on, let's say, like a beetle or something like that. And I use this stuff. I also use this on my Eldar Lynx just to get like a pearlescent shine to the model, which looks pretty cool on top of metallics. And that's basically what I do is I use it on metallics, and I put the pearlescence on top, and it just kind of goes all over the place. Big color, big color. But yes, to answer your question, Lee Cooper, yeah, I have. And again, like I said, in the Mini Wargaming's Vault, I do have quite a few videos on playing with the pearlescence. It's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend it. You know, I mean, right off the top of my head, I can only think of a few places you want to use it. But I'm sure somebody out there is going to go, no, it looks great for this kind of effect, or, you know, stuff like that. But until I've seen that, I mean, like, you know, my brain kind of goes, I don't know if I can see that yet. But I mean, like, I haven't. It's not like I sat there and go, okay, what can I put pearlescent on? What can I do? Put the pearlescent here. Put the pearlescent. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't sat down and done that. I mean, I can think of like Tyranids, right? Tyranids would look really cool. You know, on the carapace, wings, you know, things like that, right? Demons would look pretty cool. Their flesh had a pearlescence to it. Heck, even Necrons, I guess. Necrons with a pearlescent shine to them. Eldar would look great. It would look fabulous with a pearlescent shine to them. So, yeah, there's many uses. Space Marines? I don't know about Space Marines. Yeah, again, Space Marines. There's always this kind of mental block when you're dealing with, you know, like Space Marines. Ooh, Space Marines. I don't know, you know. Pearlescent Space Marines? Might as well go with the Rainbow Warriors and give them pearlescent shine. And that way they'll be fabulous. Where are we in the comments? Despite you, I'm starting to really like Army Painter brushes. Yeah, no, I've heard nothing but good things about Army Painter brushes. I've used a few of them myself. I like they have, like, you know, the triangular kind of grip to them. I like that, you know. The one thing is, though, that they're predominantly a synthetic line, which, you know, like I said, like, I'm not really big on synthetics. I just don't like the draw. It's really what it is. The draw. I find with synthetics, they don't hang on to the paint as long. If you can imagine, you know, like a bristle brush, right? A bristle hair. It's structured like a honeycomb, not a honeycomb, like a pine cone, right? It's got all these kind of cells to it, and that hangs on to the pigments and the acrylic paint. Whereas synthetics, I can't imagine that its structure looks like that. Its structure is probably quite random and, you know, I mean, quite blocky and, you know, smooth in some areas, and, you know, I mean, like, I just don't see it looking the same. And when you're painting with them and you thin the colors down, I find that the synthetic doesn't hang on to the paint as long, and so your brush strokes aren't as fluid as they would be with the bristle brush, which is why most artists still prefer their bristle brushes, because, again, you get a better draw from it. So, yeah. Daniel Pagey at Kris, any tips for layering once a wash has dried? I never know how far to the recesses I need to go. Yeah, I see that, and now that comes from an over-reliance, as I mentioned earlier before in the video, and probably in other videos as well. An over-reliance on the shade washes to achieve those dark tones, right? Now, really, when you're looking at your colors, you kind of have to, like, break down in your mind what value that color is. Like, how many steps is that color from the base, right? How much black did it require to go down that shade? How much white did it require to go up those highlights, right? And so you got to kind of, like, start to look at the colors in that fashion and start to see, okay, how much white would I have to add? And then what else colors? It has a bit of a yellow hue to it. So so if I threw a bit of yellow into it, would that match that color and then bring it up, right? It's just color matching. And if you're dry brushing and you're going to, you know, try and reestablish some of those mid-tones, that's probably the best way to go about and push some of those shade colors back down. Because when you put too much shade wash in, you end up with these big, like, lakes, these big watermarks of color and darker color. And then you have, you know, and then that's why you could be having a bit of trouble looking for that mid-tone to where you want to begin your highlights. And, yeah, if you want to get out of that habit, start thinning down your shade washes to the point where it's just falling within recesses, but it's not changing the surface value too much. You can apply it to the entire surface. It'll still fall within recesses if you use it. If you thin it with Lemaine medium, and you can apply it to the entire surface, and it just changes just the overall surface values just a little bit. And then again, you can come back in and start adding in your layer colors and your midtones and stuff like that. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, you gotta break the habit of relying on heavy shade washes to achieve your varying tones. And start trusting in yourself to actually mix those tones, or even start practicing wet blending. Wet blending is another good one, especially for cloaks and stuff like that. If, say, for example, like a Mephiston red, and then you added, say, just a little bit of Rhinox hide, or even black to that matter, and just blended that in just very slightly, and then you see all your varying tones right up to almost to the edge of the cloth, and yeah, so entirely up to you, man. Entirely up to you how you want to go about it. Again, dry brushing isn't the only technique available. Layering isn't the only technique. Glazing was essentially layering, and wet blending, right? So it's up to you. Where am I? Big Star Wars fan 10 Swedish quick tip haven't been mentioned in a while. Come on, guys. I thought we were supposed to bug Kris relentlessly until he got what we want. The Swedish chef thing will never leave, will it? It's a monkey on my back is what it is. But you, when Kris gets a costume, a Scarface? Quick tip will happen when Kris gets some blow. What was I playing with the other day? It was just like, I think it was just the white paint, and I had white paint on my palette, and like everybody knows, like the painting surface I paint on for the videos is just a big painted glass, and so I take a razor blade and I scrape the paint off every day, to shoot new videos. And I was the white out of the airbrush. It was just coming off like powder, and it was just like this big wad of powder. And so here I am with this white paint and a razor blade, and I'm scraping it off the glass, and that's what exactly it looked like. I was like, oh, it looks like I'm doing blow in my office. Oh, that's not good. What if some some visitor comes to see us, and oh wait, here I am doing blow in my office. That's not good. Make Whiskey, after Kris said something about relying too much on the shade washes once, I took some time off and didn't use them at all. Painted 4 or 5 models, just making my own washes and glaze. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that you can't use them, that they have no place in the painting. I'm not saying that. They do have a place, and a very valuable place. But what I'm saying is that most of the time when we're still developing as painters, we tend to rely on that shade wash, and that can actually hinder your abilities for quite a while on judging coloring and getting to different color blends and color gradients and things like that. It can actually hinder you as a painter, and so don't do it. And that's why, like, when people kind of like shellac the shade wash onto a detail, and they go, I can't figure out how to highlight this. Well, of course not, because you go from 2 tones. You go from a bright tone to a dark tone. And, you don't have no gradient there. You got to be very subtle with the shade washes. The shade washes are really, really great if you're subtle with them. If you use them very subtly, thin them out. Actually, is a good one. That's the one I've become very, very fond of, is thinning them out. Using Lemaine medium, of course, and just applying 1 or 2 layers of it. And just to get just a bit of a tonal shade, and that's it. That's all you need. Because really, if you wanted to have deep dark tones, you should have started off, your base coat should have been dark to begin with. If you want to work all your colors up, right? Or you could start the opposite end and want to work with the brightest tone and work all the way down and build your colors downwards. But that's a different kind of painting altogether, and painting technique, and yeah. So, where am I? Barfing Sheep and Morton Kris quick tip. Yeah, we got kind of the mask here. I just have to dye my hair white, which is not going to happen. McWhiskey, I feel like my skills jumped up a whole hell of a lot real quick after that. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's over-reliance on the shade wash will hinder your abilities as a painter. And if you're serious about getting better at your painting, don't rely on the shade washes to achieve all your effects, is what I'm saying. Shade washes have their place. They're very valuable. I still use them every day. You know what I mean? So they have their place, but not as the end all be all of getting the colors that are shades and gradients that you want. You have to achieve those by properly building the colors up, right? So Swiss Toby, totally agree. I got away from using the shades to really tone down the recesses, but it said use the main medium to tone down the overall color. Thanks, Kris. Your quick tips are awesome. Thank you. And I'm glad, they help. I'm glad, that a lot of these things help a lot of people, And really the big thing is that for a lot of you new people, I know even there's some of you guys who aren't, you're just watching this for the first time or whatever. You're new to the hobby. That's okay. As long as you keep at it, you'll get better. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask questions. And do not be afraid to try out new techniques. Do not be afraid. Fear is the mind killer. Lazy Monkey. So Kris has gone from sniffing minis to snorting paint off of a mirror. That's the progression of the addiction to in the hobby. Yeah, I'm just a junkie for it, I guess. I was going to make a joke there, but I got to keep the show PG. Barbie Sheep, soon he'll be smoking green stuff. You can smoke green stuff. No, I'm just kidding, don't. Leo Shi, yeah, I once suffered around that problem when I started painting miniatures, and but when I was stuck, I would think, just shade it and it'll look fine. Yeah, exactly. It makes you a lazy painter, and yeah, just don't do it. Lazy Monkey 2 shots of the main medium. I wonder how long it would take to pass that if you just took a shot of the main medium. I know it's non-toxic, but come on, man. It's not going to do your system any wonders. Do a shot of LeMain medium. Just do the whole bottle. Yuck. Icky poo. McWhiskey. Major points for the fear is the mind killer line. Haven't heard that in a while. But it's true. Let's do an email because I'm grabbing the wrong mouse. There we go. Grabbing the wrong mouse. Story of my life. Anyway, Dylan Powell. Hi, Kris. First, just wanted to say thanks for the heaps. Thanks heaps for all the work you do make this hobby better. I'm sure all the monkeys would agree, and we appreciate it. I was hoping to get some feedback from the monkeys and yourself. In particular, from yourself, I was hoping you could share your painting god knowledge on highlighting red on curved tanks, such as Tower Elder. I find it hard to know where to highlight from. To highlight when from above the light would hit everywhere. Oh, okay, I think I said. See attached, my work in progress. Would love to know your thoughts in making them better. I'm looking for a nice tabletop level. Hopefully I'm getting close to where we can find out soon enough. Thanks in advance. Appreciate your feedback. Master Shadow. Dylan P. Master Shadow. Oh, wrong mouse again. Dang it. And so here is, what's his name? Confessor? Or no. I used to have this model. And, it was a really fun model. It was a little space pope. And I tried to paint it up just the way they had painted it back in the day, where they had this really filigree detail in his robe There's like all sorts of detail in his. I don't even know what the heck these details are called. Anyway, I used to really like the model. Space Pope. Very nice. Can we zoom in? Zoom in. Ooh, nice freehand letters. Very cool. Be nice if you went all the way up with it and then maybe even just hinted at letters in there, you know, stuff like that. I don't know. Or is it really spelling something? I don't know. Anything I can see? I'm not seeing anything. Flesh tones looks alright. Looks like little fuzzies. I like the little antiquing patina on the thing. Why would it be just on the head and not the rest of the staff? Right? Why would the patina just be on here and not the rest of it? I think you could have put the rest of it like just in the recesses, you know, just in the little nooks and crannies, stuff like that. I think you could have done that as well. Again, you'd have this dominantly blue-red feeling on this model with the white kind of as balance, which is probably an interesting color scheme. I think the snake could actually probably gone to more of like a teal, like a turquoise. You have this blue-green snake rather than this green element on it, which would kind of conflict and feel like too many colors at play. It really is what it is, you know. Because you got the blue hose, you got the blue patina, which is this blue-green. And if you did the snake a blue-green, probably a little closer to green, just so he still feels like a snake. And we're not, you know, we're not just pushing blue on everybody. But, yeah. I like him. He looks good. Clean. I know the white is kind of tough. Just because, you know, there's just so much space there. Do we have a back shot? No, we don't have a back shot. Whoa, here we go. And so Tau. So he was writing about highlighting red on Tau and Eldar. Now, it's not so much curved surfaces. It's just what kind of highlighting scheme do you want to go for? Because edge highlighting would simply be just highlighting each of those panels, right? The edges of each of the panels. And then maybe like that. You see where there's a bend in the armor? I'd put a little highlight on the top and just on that bend. Armored shield, just the outer edge, the inner edge, right? Helmet, just the outer edge here. Outer edges of the antennae. Yeah, it would really just be just the edges. And now if you're going for zenithal, well then you're highlighting the uppermost portions of the light source was right above his head, or, you know, above, directly above. Then you would have brighter red at the very tops with a deeper red down at the bottoms. Now, you also have to bear in mind, though, okay, so say a detail like this, where the curvature is still outwards, but everything is still pointing up, right? So which means that still would be quite bright, whereas in the dark parts of his armpit, that would be quite dark. Really, a fun exercise would be to take a light bulb and place it over the model. So you have your base colors down, and then put the light bulb over the model if you want to go for a zenithal, and see where the light plays on the model. And then that way you can accurately determine, you know, what kind of colors you need, because you can also see what kind of shade color you need. If you just concentrate on the shadow, you'll see what color you need. And then you can mix it. You usually can mix a brown or a black into the red, get your shade color. It's usually the shorthand of it, but, yeah. Very cool. I like that. That's very cool. Awesome. Ooh. Again, same thing. You can edge highlight the panels, or you can give it a zenithal. Or you can go for something completely your own and go for, say, for example, highlighting the uppermost portions of this edge and shading down, all the way down, and leaving no highlight at that outer edge, right? So you have just it's going brighter to darker. And then here on the nose, say it went brighter along this edge, and then it got darker out to the tip of the nose. The armor panel, you know, it was bright at the top, and then got darker. and you'd have these really kind of interesting kind of step kind of patterns running on the model, where you'd have like it would end in dark, and then go to bright, and then start off in dark and go to bright, start off dark, go to bright, and you'd have this kind of back and forth with the color going all over the place. I think that would also be visually interesting as well. So something else to consider. Oh, was that it? Oh, that was it. Aww. I was kind of enjoying that one. Anywho. Sorry, I'm trying to turn off my thing here. Yeah, that was the last one for that. So. No, that's not what I want. So I'm trying to get my emails organized up here, and what the heck was the last email I read? Is that it? Yeah, I read it. That one? This is crazy. What email did I just read? I didn't read that one. Oh, yeah, it was that one. Sorry, I'm lost here, people. Lost. So, yeah, because I did that one. So that's the next one. See, I thought I was further ahead than I was. Never mind. Where are we in these comments? Where are we? Oh, we didn't go very far. That's why you read my email. You can throw a please in that. This way you, LOL, now I know how it feels. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Make whiskey, easy way to pick a highlight is where you see the light reflecting off the picture. Yeah, that's another way too. Highlighting, the models, like I said, it's, if you're going for an edge highlight, then it's just highlighting the edges of the armor plate, right? Going for a zenithal, the easiest way to kind of get that reference is put the light bulb over the model, and you see where the light is playing on the model surface, and you just highlight it. You just use that as your guide and just highlight where those points are. Or you can do something entirely different and go for your own look, and highlight the armor plates any which way you felt like. I would kind of more recommend that one than any of the others. So a simple edge highlight, but everybody edge highlights. Even Games Workshop's models, they're all edge highlighted, right? It's fine. It does the job. And it provides, multiple layers to the model somewhat. And so, I mean, people go on about, painting realistic models. But, realistic models are just very desaturated, very muddy kind of looking models. And, at a distance, you don't really see what you're looking at when a model is painted very realistically. Like, you're looking at, like a World War II model, and it's on a diorama, and it's all painted in realistic tones, right? It looks very flat, very boring. It doesn't even look like there's highlighting on anything. It doesn't even look like there's shadows or anything like that, right? Until you took a closer look at it and go, oh, yeah, you can see all the shadow. You can see all these things at play here. So, but I didn't see it when I was only an arm length away from it, right? So, Lazy Monkey, I think the monkeys are all a bit distracted today. I'm having to do some cleaning around the home instead of anything productive. Yeah, same here. Well, it's a nice Saturday, and it's kind of, you kind of want to be out there, or you don't want to. Some of you might be, really sensitive to the sun, and so you stay in most days, and this is what you do, and that's nothing wrong with that either. In fact, I count on those people. Barfing Sheep feels like mine is never coming up. I sent it months ago. What was yours, Barfing? What's your name? What's your name? What is your name? What is your name, kid? Because I've read Mads, Ruben, Totem Lord, Dylan, and I'm going to be reading a Neil Turner in a moment. Oh, see, that's why that messed up. Totem Lord sent me 2. Totem Lord spamming me. Especially you and Kris. When are we getting Way of the Brush After Dark? Switch that coffee out for something stronger. Oh man, you know, I know you guys want to have a chuckle at, After Dark type stuff where we talk a little bit more grown up type stuff, and it would be fun. It would be fun. I think we'd have to have a moderator. I think just to try and keep things somewhat civil. I don't know if we could have alcohol in it, just because for example, because I'm thinking like a multi kind of platform, kind of, or not a multi platform, but like a multi people kind of show, maybe a panel of people. We're all sitting together, and possibly drinking and talking about the day's events, kind of thing. But after dark, so we pretty much just speak our minds. I don't know if the public's ready for that. I don't know if you guys are ready for me to speak my mind. I don't think so. It's kind of like it'd be kind of like the old saying, don't meet your heroes. It'd be like that. Don't meet your heroes. Dark Mako 91. I want to buy a Renegade Knights so I can get the Chaos one, but so expensive. Yes, it is. But I mean, it's 4 Titans. I mean, that's what you're shelling out for. Get a buddy to go in with you. Get a buddy to go halves, or get 3 other buddies, and everybody pitches in for 25%. Everybody gets their Titan. Everybody's got their own thing, and you just come back and you play the game. Everybody wins. It's all win-win. Win-win. Barfing Sheep. Okay, that's your name? I think I read it then, didn't I? Oh, wrong mouse. Oh, wrong category. Here we go. Because I read from a Mads, Ruben, Totem, Dylan, Neil. Oh, Neil. I might have already read yours. Barfing. Barfing. Yeah, I might have already read it, dude. It might have been last show or show previous. Because I'm not seeing any Richard. Hold on, let me go by real quick. Oh, wrong one. Where is? Because last week, Robert about the 40k Imperial Fist, was that it? Barfing Sheep? Was that it? Was your question with the 40k Imperial Fist? Because if that is the case, then I've read your email. It was on last show. Alrighty. Comments. Holy man. Crap's flying by now. Lord of Midgets, I'm picking up some 1 to 2500 scale terrain to make some Godzilla style bases for my hordes warbeasts. Any tips on making bases at this scale? Ooh, no, that's interesting though. I kind of like that idea. No. Any ideas on making a base at that scale? Just don't change the size of the base. Okay? You're going to have the buildings and stuff in there if you want. But is 125 big enough? Or do you want them smaller? I don't know. But it's a good idea. Send me pictures. When you got something going. Because, yeah, I kind of like that idea. Arano Imperial Knights Renegade is just 2 Knights models, not a special Chaos one. Oh. I thought I had like a Chaos one in there. No? Boo earns. Despite you, on another note, anyone playing Total War Warhammer? No, I'm not. I've seen Quirk playing it, and it looks pretty cool. I've seen Matt play Total War. He was playing Total War, one of the other versions. And, I mean, it's cool, but, I mean, it's a lot of stuff there. I mean, there's a lot of units moving, and I don't know. Bum, 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 bum. Despite you not read mine, I must be on the top. Hugh. Barfing Sheep, it was the Blood Angels. Blood Angels? Are you sure you sent me it? Okay, I'm gonna look at this one. No, I'm not seeing anything, dude. I am not seeing anything. You might have to resend it, or you might have to send it again, because yeah, dude, I'm not seeing it. I mean, is your handle Barfing Sheep? Is the email going to come in as Barfing Sheep, or is it going to come in as a different handle? Because all Google shows me is the handle, like the names, right? And I don't see any Roberts in there, so I couldn't tell you. Yeah, you probably have to send it to me again, man, because I just went through my little history of submissions, and I haven't seen a Robert in there. Or Barfing Sheep. Where are we? I know the feelings, Kris. Barfing Sheep is not the end of the world. It just doesn't get to the stream. I'm not Robertson. No, well, you said Robert. I know you're not Robertson, but like, what's the handle though? Is the email like under a handle, or is it your name, like your first name and last name, like? But anyway, either way, I'm not seeing it. Blood Angels was a while ago. I remember answering a question about Blood Angels. Man, where was that? Yeah, if you sent it like a month ago, then yeah, I definitely would have gotten to it by now, because the emails that I'm on right now were sent the 22nd of May. That's where I'm at right now, the 22nd of May. And in fact, let's read one right now. This is from Neil Turner. Might help if I switch to the page, right? Hi, Kris. I have enjoyed watching the last couple Way the Brush episodes live. As you like flyers, well, at least the other type, I have attached a couple photos of an orc bomber I recently finished. Paint scheme is not very orky, but had fun painting it. Pretty happy with the result. However, the paint on the bombs is still a little think need more Lemaine medium. Speaking of Lemaine medium, could you use one on the acrylic flow aids as a substitute, or are there any? Are they used for a different reason? Cheers, Neil. Okay, so to answer your first part there, or well, the second part really, about using the Lemaine medium, the Lemaine medium is not the same as flow aids. Flow aids are what you could add to, say, for example, if you thinned out, Abaddon Black really, really thin with water, or the medium, and then you can take a flow aid, put a drop or two in it, and it'll act like the shade washes, where it'll creep into the recesses. And so, yeah. And so you can always do that. When looking for any kind of thinning medium, if you're looking to buy one that's sort of like Citadel's thinning medium, you want to find one that's a very thin body. A thick body medium will be more like a gel or jelly, or kind of that kind of consistency. So you want to find one thin and watery. But flow aid is not really a medium to be used to just thin paints, because it's not what it is designed for. It's designed for to help create that that viscosity and flow into the recesses of models and stuff like that, right? So back to the orc at hand. I think it's really good work. Looks really good. I like a bit of your weathering here. The decals, be careful. I can see it looks like air is getting underneath that, which means that you should seal this model before that just kind of fluffs off the model. Come on, screw off. I like the painting of the trim on the glass. That's really cool. That looks like some nice freehanding of the tail, the checker marks on the tail. Very cool. Evil Sun's motif. Screw off. I don't know why this thing keeps doing that. Another one to add to scorches too is like the underside from this engine. You know, you'd imagine you get like a black slit all along here. Just a little bit of blackening in that area, I think would be really cool. Just to add to that effect that, you know, it's a, you know, air to ground kind of strike bomber kind of thing, you know. So that's that. I say, oh, here's the underside. Oh, look at the bombs. Very, very cool. A bomb, big orky face. Again, don't be afraid to, you know, have your rust and things like that, you know, be more uniform. Okay, you did add some scorching onto the back of the plane. I'd have gone a little bit further with it. A little bit more. Just a bit. Not too much. Doesn't need to make the plane look like it's, you know, blackened and burned and stuff. Top down shot. Very cool. Back angle view. Very cool. It's very nice work. I like it. Again, you know, I think also another thing you could probably add is chipping. There's a little bit of chipping. You know, just like on the leading edge of the wings, maybe around the what are these? The air brakes or whatever. Baffles? No, not baffles. Anyway, you know, just a few things here and there, just to add some more kind of wear and tear. Just because, you know, orkies don't really kind of keep their gear in 100% order, so there would be a little bit of paint missing on some of those planes and things like that. Where are we in the comments? Barbie Sheep, it's not the end of the world if he doesn't get to the stream. No? Okay. Lord of Midgets, does anyone have any recommendation for podcast for non-War 40k wargaming, i.e. War Machine, Hordes, General Tabletop without specimens? Actually, no, I don't, because I don't listen to a whole lot of podcasts and, you know, things like that. Like, I check out a few sites. You know, I check out Fate and I check out Bell Lost Souls, you know, kind of keep up on news kind of things, news and rumors. But otherwise, you know, that's about it. I don't really listen to any podcasts or anything like that. I know there's quite a few people out there who told me about like different podcasts and, oh, these guys are hilarious, give them a listen. And I just haven't gotten around to it, you know. So, coffee. Oh, excuse me. Clumsy Juggler, Meeples and Miniatures is a good podcast about mini wargaming. Yeah. Neil Turner, thanks for the tip, Kris. You're welcome. I think. Yeah. So, Lich Lord G, quick glowing eyes question. Should the eye sockets be darker and the eyeball brighter? They can. They can be. I mean, overall, the iris or the eye itself will be brighter, so everything else by comparison will be darker. But are we talking like, say going from, okay, say if we're going greens, are we going greens? Well, you're Crick, so I'll assume it's going green glows. We go with something, say like Warlock or Warpstone Glow, which is a mid-tone purple. and go for, like building this gradient up towards, the panel. At the socket, you want to have just a little bit of darkness in there. So at the edge of the cheekbone or the eye, or where the skull really meets, I guess, you'd have a bit of a highlight. So it could be almost white. Oh, it's blue? Okay, well, same thing. You can have like a light blue, and then a darker blue. Not too dark, more like a mid-tone, and then the highlight, and then you can create your fade out from the cheek that way. You can hit you can hit the underside of the eyebrow, right? Because that's where light would naturally collect. But you don't put any on the eyebrow, like painted the eyebrow. Just paint the underside of the eyebrow. And it's usually when they're sculpted, you can usually catch that space there just right. So, yeah. Barfing Sheep email should be in my inbox if I'm not sending it to someone else. I see an email by Olsener? Barfing Sheep. Yeah, I got your email, Barfing Sheep. And these models are not familiar to me. I don't think you've sent me these pictures, dude. Or wait, maybe you have. I think you have. I think I've critiqued these models before. But anyway, we will get to them later on. As far as like the glow Lich Lord, again, like I said, it's a bright. Then you can go a little bit darker, then bright again, the cheekbone, and a little bit darker. But even if you were just building with color like a little darker and going brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, that still works too. Where you don't even notice like the eye socket. It's just if he's got a big eye socket and he's got like a mechanical eye or something like that, then you want to really kind of illustrate that. Then by all means go for it then, right? Then I apologize. No, don't apologize. It might have been even longer than I wrote long ago. I read that one, but some of those pictures did look familiar. The picture of your rhino looked familiar. Where are we in the comment or in the emails? I don't even know. Totally lost. Man, what time we at? 8 minutes. 8 minutes left of the show. We got enough time for one more email. I'm still trying to get it happening here. Is that right? Because I just did this one. No, I didn't do that one. Yeah. This is the one I was going to do next. This is another one from the Totem Lord. Yo, Kris, what's up? What's up? Back again with my diorama. It's the day after I've already completed the base, and now I just need to finish the Tau fighting off unseen Tyranids. Feedback, please. Thanks from Totem Lord. And so, let's have a look. So basically, it could be this little diorama of Tau fighting off a horde of Tyranids. Now, if that's the case, are you going to have them still attached to their bases, or are you going to get them off the bases, or are you going to create new models so they're not on their bases? Because I kind of like the premise of this, the whole thing of the building getting kind of swarmed with this. I think like have one or two guys on the bottom floor just looking like they're fighting for their lives, and then one or two guys at the top, but one or two other guys that look like they're wounded. And so, it's kind of desperate. They're just kind of holding everybody off while, there's guys on the ground bleeding and stuff, right? Otherwise, yeah, I think it's pretty darn cool. I think it's a good idea, and send more pics, dude. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I think. Having a couple guys, just kind of staring at everybody, just, shooting at each other. He's like spraying out the window, and he's like, "Oh my God, we're getting surrounded." And he's like, "Oh my God, it's right there." I don't know if they sounded that enthused, but yeah, Yeah, see, you did it for the bases here. You took them right off the bases. So I can only assume you're going to do that for your tile then. You take it off the bases? No. What do you mean no? Oh, no. I like he's just doing a straight up Spider-Man walk right up the walls. Like it's nothing. Very, very cool. He's got a railgun. He's looking to fix some Tyranids. Very cool. That was crap. Totem Lord. That was Totem Lord's work in progress of his diorama he's working on, where it's basically like a last stand for the towel. Very cool. I want to send more pictures in of as he progresses through it. I think it'd be very, very cool to see where he goes with it. Oh, I'm not reading that. That's a big wall text. Yeah. Okay. So where are we in these comments here? What time we at? 4 minutes to. Oh, we're almost done. Almost done. Lich Lord, it's the Bane Thralls, so skull socket with an eyeball. And just solid color. Yeah, you can go with a little bit more than that with those Bane Thralls. And if you got a nice deep eye socket, then yeah, you can probably go with something bright in there and build up the color to, the green, and then you can even leave the eye black, if you wanted to, just kind of create some kind of like it's like, the bat signal or whatever, and it's kind of signaling out. I don't know, something along those lines. Something kind of crazy anyway. John Doe, I just got a new cell phone and have been taking pics this entire show. Working on sending them. Trying not to make the file size too huge. No, just send it as attachments in your email, and all should be good. It's usually the best way to send them as attachments through the email. At Kris, we still need an episode name. Holy crap, we still need an episode name. We need an episode name. We can't end the show 3. Man, what were we doing all this time? Why didn't somebody say something? Tolo, where were you on that one? You dropped the ball. What's up? I should just call the episode Tolo dropped the ball and there's no episode. Just totally blame Tolo. We need a name. I know we need a name. Or is that what you're saying, that should be the name? We need a name. How very meta. Come on. What are we talking about today? Alcohol is not for brushes. Very good. That's just good sound advice. Not really a title of a show, though, is it? Oop, jeez. Almost knocked all that over. Episode 121. Oops. Sprite's first email. Swedish chef not included. Bruce is the way. Bruce is the way. Brush is the way. Alcohol's not for brushes. I mean, that's gonna be the no name show. The no name show. Lazy monkey. What have we been doing all this time? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, how did we not get to the name of the show? We usually get to the name of the show like in the first hour. How did we miss that? We didn't get the name of the show. I'm drawing a complete blank. I'm thinking alcohol is not for brushes, but make whiskey fingering English bulldogs. No. Time flies with Wild Bush Mills mix. Oh, finger painting English bulldogs. Yeah. Oh, he corrected it down. No. I meant English. I meant finger painting, not fingering. I don't know. Bulldogs and alcohol? No. Brushes and bulldogs? No. I see. That's why I don't come up with that's why I don't come up with the title of the show, because I mean, like, I can't think of it. Painting at the minibar? Yes. We're already trying to go through the topics that we went through today. Drooling, cuddles, and alcohol? Almost. You said I'm drawing a blank. I am drawing a blank. Danish artist Kris, what would you say one should have two of each brush? One for metal paints and one for the rest? Not really. It's not necessary because if you are washing your brushes in soap, you're washing those metallic flakes right out. Now, when you're at your paint station, you should have two jars of water, one for metallics and one for regular colors, just so that you're not cross pollinating metallic colors or metallic pigment into your rinse water and then putting metallic pigment as your base coat, kind of thing. It's very, very minimal. You catch it sometimes, but otherwise, yeah, no. What's the Star Ranger Deluxe? Alcohol. 4 people, not brushes. I'm getting closer, I think. Smoking green stuff at the minibar? No. Drinking with the dog while finger painting? Yeah. You know what, Kurt? I think I'm going to go with that one. I'm drawing a blank because I can't think of anything. And everybody, you guys are not giving me anything here. I'm drawing a blank. Because I am drawing a blank. Because I have no idea. So I leave these really big, important decisions up to you guys. It's not just to get you guys involved. It's because I can't think of a damn thing. I can feel my creative abilities draining and draining and draining and draining and draining. Lich Lord got my UA base coated. Thanks, Kris. No problem, dude. Lazy Monkey, don't snort your paints. Good one. Dark Mako 91. Coffee. Make whiskey. We failed. Mad Maxim 81. Wait. What? We're super creative? Well, you're more creative than me. I mean, it's the fact that all your brains, all the monkey brains, working together as a collective is far more powerful than my singular brain. So that's why I have to, refer things to the monkeys. Because it's not always about the title of the show, but it's the title of the show is what's going to grab new viewers, right? So, and I mean, we do not want new viewers to this thing because we want, more monkeys, and more monkeys means more mayhem, and more mayhem means more hilarity, and hilarity equals fun and viewers. Yeah, so I think, in fact, maybe to get more viewers, I think people need to, start giving me, thumbs up. I don't know. I don't usually ask for a thumbs up thing. And maybe sharing this. I don't know. Sharing these videos. There's not really like a newbie friendly forum or anything out there, is there? a little late there, Zine. Zine OG. Zine or Zine? First live show from the UK. Well, welcome. Unfortunately, we're at the end of the show, and yeah, so excuse me. Lazy Monkey. An infinite number of monkeys could come up with Shakespeare on their own. In theory, unfortunately, we are far fewer than 1 million. We came up with Nurglebum. Right, but yeah, that's what that's not the apex of what the monkeys have come up with, though. I mean, like we've had far better ideas come out of the monkey pen. Yeah, monkey pen. We've had far better ideas come out than that. But that's just one of those more memorable ones. That's one of those ones where you guys just never let go. It's just like, holy man, you guys still talking about bums? It's like we go 2 hours and everybody's still talking about bums. It's like, really? Nobody wants to ask any painting questions. Everyone just wants to talk about bums. All right. John Doe, together we paint, divided we fail. Oh, I kind of like that too. Hang on to that one. We might use that one some more time. Log that one away in the back of your brain. Monkeys and Nurglebums. So, here we are at the end of the show. I think we're done for the day. I think we learned something. I think we hashed out some good info today. And had a couple laughs. A few anyway. Just one or two, really, I think it was. But, anyway. Questions and comments, send them to Kris at Mini Wargaming. It's in the description below. Feel free to like, share this video, because, you know, more monkeys means more hilarity, and more hilarity means more monkeys. Yeah. Join us on Facebook, where even more monkeys are yet still hiding and lurking. And, you know, post questions, comments there. Show what you're working on. You know, anything like that. Of course, you know, anything that you want to share, work in progress, or your commission painting service, and you want to, you know, share, you know, your work and, you know, drum some extra exposure, send it to Kris at miniwargaming.com, or send it to Facebook at Way the Brush Facebook page, and Way the Brush t-shirts in the description below. Hey, you know, I mean, it's the style these days, right? So it's what all the kids are wearing. So why not you? I still have not come up with any good for, you know, the t-shirts, like a tagline for the t-shirts. I can't come up with anything. Despite you, email time? No, it's not email time. Are you kidding me? It was past. Nice try though, buddy. You got an A for effort. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I will see you guys next week. Next week? Yeah, next week. Yeah. So take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you, and I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully. Maybe.